As time is very limited, I will only refer 2 or 3 of them. What is demanded to Portuguese authorities concerning public finances in general? In first place, to reduce the government, the state deficit. In second place, to contain the expenditure growth. In third place, from a legal or more legal point of view, to establish a completely new legal framework considering public finances, including the total revision of the local and regional finance laws. And in fourth place, one of the most important aspects, the strengthened improvement of the accountability, report and control mechanisms. Regarding central administration, are following, among others, the following targets. First, to improve the efficiency of public administration, eliminating services and avoiding duplications and inefficiencies. In second place, limit the staff admissions. In third place, limit the creation of what we can consider a tumor or a cancer of the Portuguese system. Limit the creation of new public bodies, public foundations, public associations, public enterprises, etc. And in fourth place, avoid the engagement in new public-private partnerships. I know I'm going very fast, but I also have here my reports and I intend to distribute it, and if you want, of course, you can read it. Finally, on the topic of local administration, the one most relevant for our purposes here, it is demanded, in first place, to completely reorganize local governments, and particularly the provision of central services at local levels, trying to avoid duplications of provision. In second place, a topic that is very problematic and arising some debate, very hard debate, to reduce significantly the number of municipalities and parishes. I'm not quite sure, but I think that presently in Portugal we have about 300 municipalities and 4,200 parishes, which for a small country from a geographical point of view as Portugal is an exaggerated number, as you understand. And in third place, to reduce even more, to reduce the transfers between the central state and the local bodies, the subnational bodies. What we here in Italy call, I think, perequazione. Very well. After this very brief analysis, what can be said in way of conclusion about the Portuguese current situation and the challenges in face of the European Union and the Stability and Growth Pact? I would like to emphasize 3 or 4 topics. The first one, the most important. I think this one, I'm sorry, it's not a legal problem, but an educational problem, I would say. It is absolutely crucial, it is absolutely urgent, it is vital to introduce on the collective conscience, on the Portuguese collective conscience, the idea of public interest, the idea of correct use of public money, and the idea of financial discipline. Not only by citizens in general, in order to avoid tax evasion and tax fraud, of course, but mostly, and I would say unfortunately mostly, by political actors, financial actors, and financial decision makers. In second place, it is important, as I've mentioned it before, that present actors take into account demands of future generations, not charging them with a high number of deficit situations and a high number of debts and obligations. In third place, the improvement and the increase of accountability and control mechanisms should be seen almost as a national plan or a national design. I would say that, in my opinion, of course, particularly the courts should see their powers over the administrative bodies reinforced concerning public finance matters. And in fourth place, the public administration at different levels must face a very hard a very severe program of reorganization, rebuilding, in order to eliminate inefficiencies. Of course, and this is a very problematic aspect, this rebuilding, this reorganization cannot be made putting in crisis the social states and other constitutional dimensions. We cannot forget that from a constitutional point of view, the public finances and the balanced public finances is not the only principle or the only value prescribed. We have several others, as the democratic principle, the social state, the local autonomy, and so on. I think that here the key word is what the Germans call, I'm sorry about the accent, praktisch Konkordance, or harmonization. In face of a conflict between two different values or two different principles, we must always try to harmonize them and bring them together and never eliminating one of them. Well, if these conditions, these general and specific conditions are observed, not only the internal financial situation of Portuguese authorities gets progressively better, avoiding sacrifices and renounces of the taxpayers, but also, I'm sure, the accomplishment of the compromises on the European context will be possible, will be achieved. But only if we have in mind that balance that I've mentioned before. In a very fast way, because I know time is very, very limited, it was everything I want to say about the current Portuguese situation. I sincerely hope, I expect, these few words have been somehow useful. And as I said at the beginning, I don't know if time is available for that. I can answer any questions you may have. Thank you for taking your time listening to me.